What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing today? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are all doing well. We got a great stream today, guys. I first want to apologize to everybody. I'm going to be hacking my lungs out because I'm still sick, still dealing with things. I apologize, 100% apologize to you guys if I do that. So I just kind of want to let you guys know before I do it. We're going to be quickly talking about what's happening in the charts real quickly, and then we're going to get into the meat of today's stream, which is talking about how we can transfer a trademark to the community in the Cosmos ecosystem. I think it's a really interesting topic, guys, and we're going to be talking and joined by our friend Jacob with Notional. Jacob's actually with us right now. But Jacob, if you don't
Hey
mind,
guys,
if you don't mind, Jacob, I'm going to go through the charts really quickly, and then we'll just get into the meat of
please
the
do.
topic.
Dude, I didn't even know that you did this. I'm fascinated now, so I'll shut up and listen.
Awesome. Okay, guys. So right now we're taking a look. Actually, let's start with Bitcoin. We got to start. We always do it. We start with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Luna, and then Atom. We save Atom because Atom's our love child. We love him. It's our favorite child. But we got to talk about Bitcoin. We got to talk about ETH because obviously we're correlated, right? If the market moves, we're going to be following them, and so we got to talk about them. Right now, guys, the market is kind of just fighting for its life right around $37,000 to $40,000. Obviously, right now we're trading at 38,725, give or take. We're on the daily time frame. We're using Market Cipher as our primary oscillator indicator tool of choice. Let's take a look real quickly at Market Cipher B, which is a lower section of the charts that houses the RSIs, which are a lagging indicator, and the momentum waves, guys. Really interesting stuff right now. We are showing the RSIs, again, these lines right here, which are a lagging indicator. We're showing right now that they're trying to kind of come back up. They're trying to point back upwards. Now, I wouldn't front run that right now, guys, because we still have the Fed meeting that's going to be happening in the next couple of days. I've been trying to tell you guys over and over and over for the past couple of months that they're going to do their best to try to kind of settle the markets. They're going to shake the tree as hard as they possibly can. Some people are even expecting a 50-point basis hike. Excuse me. Some people are even expecting 50 points to be raised. Guys, maybe this recent downturn is in anticipation of that announcement, but don't like, guys, I'm telling you, don't think for a second, or don't underestimate the stupidity or the desperate needs that the Fed has to make sure that these markets kind of settle off. They might even raise it to 75. They'll do, like, they do dumb stuff. And so you guys don't want to front run the train. You guys don't want to be in front of things and then, have a bad call and have that train run you over. Be patient. Let the market settle. Let the market tell you what it wants to do. And it's on us to actually respond in kind. So please, all I'm saying to you guys, not financial advice, is exercise a little bit of caution and patience. Patience is always a good thing. The RSIs right now are looking like they're trying to find a bottom, trying to round back up, but this could just be a little relief rally, guys. We've seen ourselves go from 40 to 30, what was it, like low 38s or something like that. Actually, let me take a look at Market Cipher A. Forgive me, guys. I wasn't taking a look over this weekend because I was dying. We came all the way down to 37.4, basically, right around there. Basically to the lower section of our triangle pattern that we've been in for a while. I've told you guys that we could just range in this triangle pattern on Market Cipher A, or the top section of the charts where the candles are here, and be absolutely fine. We're just ranging. And if you guys take a look at it, even throughout all this, fear in the market, guys, we're still kind of trending upwards. Now, I like to take my margins on the wicks, and go by the wicks because all wicks matter, guys. The wicks, if you guys are leverage trading, is what kills people. So I go by the wicks here. And as you guys can see, we just came right down, wick down to the lower section of our trend, our support line here. And right now we're trying to catch some momentum back to the upside. Maybe we just stay kind of like doing this and bounce off it for a little while, or we can even come down below it and thread it and kind of do something like this, which it would still be absolutely fine. It would be worse off if we did that, but it would still be absolutely fine because in the long term, if you take a look at the price action for Bitcoin, all we've been doing for the past 2 years now, basically, well, about a year and a half, is ranging within this box that I've shared with you guys for a long time in my Discord. This is our bear market. We've been in a bear market.
This is a 2-year chart that we're looking at.
What was that?
This is a 2-year chart on the screen.
No, this is a daily chart.
Okay. But wait. So
Yeah,
We go back to December. Okay,
yeah,
because the reason I'm asking is I used to be a Bitcoin miner, and like everything was halvings, right?
mhm.
And I can see the halving on the chart.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I never really trade much actually, and this is fascinating to me. So I'll shut up again. But thank you for this.
Yeah, no, no problem. No problem at all. So going to the halving still, actually, that is a good topic to bring up, guys. I do want to remind you guys, we got like a year and a half. Guys, people are going to, the market is going to start anticipating that halving. And a year and a half seems like a long time in crypto. And it is. You have great, if you guys can't see it, like all these gray hairs have literally happened probably within the last 6 months. It ages you really quickly when you're in crypto. But in the grand scheme of things, a year and a half is not that far away, especially when people start anticipating the price action to move to the upside, if they still believe in the halvings, which I do. So you guys got to remember that. Like, we're still just kind of going sideways from December right here. Well, actually, it's like, yeah, basically mid-December, about Christmas, December time, right around here. We
The last time I bought in was like April, right when COVID was good. Do you remember when we went down to like 4,000?
Oh yeah.
I managed to grab BTC at that time, and that's the last time I've purchased BTC because I just like grab it and I put it in cold storage and that's it, right?
Yeah.
What I've been waiting for, I can say for Bitcoin, because I do always want more Bitcoin, is like I'm looking for another one of those. Yeah, because I feel like it could happen with all the crazy political stuff occurring.
Oh, for sure. And to go into that, we always talk about here, this is just our daily chart here. We actually, well, at least I'm a long-term investor, and I always kind of preach this to the people that watch our stream here. So we have a strategy here called the 200 SMA strategy, which we've been measuring the life of Bitcoin and some of these other, major altcoins like Ethereum and stuff like that in the market. But we measure moves below the 200 SMA once the 200 SMA doesn't hold up as support. And we've gone back throughout the life of Bitcoin here. On average, that'll give us right about 36.45% total average move down once the 200 SMA is broken. It does not hold up as support for price action, guys. I know this is kind of a messy chart right here, but if you guys see, and I take away this yellow line right here is the 200 SMA. And when it doesn't hold up as support, like it broke through right here, guys, on average, based on prior price action throughout all of the dips, FUDs, uncertainties, whatever it's been attacked from before with Bitcoin's price, on average, it tells us that we should find somewhat of a flooring position right around 36.45% total average move down. That would bring us all the way down to about $30,000 or about $30,617, which is, again, just another good level of support. We've seen it in the past. Again, going back to about December of 2020, we had support here. It just kind of like lines up with that. And then, guys, we obviously have been, again, in this triangle pattern, which if you guys have been measuring the triangle pattern, we go back to our other chart right here, just kind of lines up to about $28,000 to $30,000 on the charts. I realistically do think that could actually happen. We could come down there and get a really good flooring position. And now this isn't the bottom. I don't know. Nobody knows the tops. Nobody knows the bottom. What I'm telling you guys by this section of the chart is this could actually be a place to start DCAing strong with your capital. Be patient, right? Like if it comes down here, you guys know me, I like to do my DCAing in in quarters. My first one will be kind of like a filler buy. I'll just put a filler buy here. My next position will reinforce my first position with more positions, bringing down my DCA to about here. And then if I let me show you guys here, this is actually legitimately what I'm looking at to do. Not financial advice, this is just me though, guys. Why is it not popping up again? It's not popping up.
Yeah, good to mention that because, trading's. I always tell people that too. It's really hard to share the techniques without, because I'm sure you've had oopsies, right? And I've had oopsies too.
For sure.
Exactly. But dude, your show is awesome.
Oh, I appreciate it. Going back here, And I'll move on to ETH, to Luna and Adam, and get into our topic of the day in just a second, guys. But as you guys can see here, like this is legitimately where I personally am going to be DCAing, guys. It'll come down here, like I said, about 30,000. I'll DCA my first filler buy here. My second position will reinforce my first position here, and then I'll probably DCA right in the middle here. And then this is my big massive zone, because we could realistically get, just like how we had this big dip down here with COVID, right? We could realistically get down to about $20,000. Nobody wants to hear this, but we will wick down to about $20,000 if this happens really quickly. So right now, I have limit orders set open and just sitting, waiting to buy more Bitcoin at those levels, guys. Make sure you guys practice proper risk management. Don't overextend. Don't use money that you can't afford to sit on, because that sucks. But guys, that's what I'm seeing right now in the markets. It looks like it's trying to turn back up. Market Cipher B shows us a green dot. We're low on the anchor waves, but not low enough, guys. What I'm looking for is right here on the anchor waves. I'm looking to be below this 60 line right here with the green dot, with the RSIs pointing back up, and us recapturing the positive money flow, guys.
What do those anchor waves indicate?
Anchor waves usually indicates to the downside here, basically when we are oversold. So when we get to the 60 line here on Market Cipher, which is right here, when we get about that 60 line, that's a really good position in the charts to start thinking that, yeah, this asset's actually getting pretty oversold and we might see a reversal in trend. And the same thing with these waves to the upside. We call them mountain ranges. When you get extended over the 60 line here to the upside, that's when we're being overbought. So you can kind of expect the momentum to maybe take a breather or maybe reverse a little bit. But we're going to be moving on real quickly to ETH, guys. ETH trading at 28.35. Same thing as Bitcoin. We're actually getting a double green dot right here. ETH is a little bit different, guys. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. ETH is a little bit different because, you know, they're with that whole narrative being ultrasound, you know, money and all this other stuff. And even though, you know, the upgrade to ETH 2.0 has been extended yet again, it is still what it is, guys. You know, so ETH right now is still kind of showing a lot of strength, actually, trading at 28.39. I think realistically, and you guys know I've shared this with you guys, we could easily come down to about 48.88 underneath the 200 SMA once it doesn't hold up as support, bringing us to 1876. Worst case scenario, that's where I'm going to start DCAing. I don't know if it's actually going to get there. It might just kind of ping pong in between these two lines right here, which was once resistance and support up here. But guys, again, many times I've shared this with you guys. Be patient. Just start, you know, maybe start deploying a little. If you just absolutely have to, just feeler buys. Go fly fishing with your DCA. Nothing crazy. Just start seeing, you know, maybe this is the bottom. It's been fighting for this position for a little while. But honestly, I think that we could come down in between these two lines right here, which was once resistance and support. Anywhere between $2,100 and where we are now is an awesome buy, I think, for Ethereum. Now, moving on to our favorite cousin in the Cosmos ecosystem, which is Luna. Luna coming down right now, guys, to, well, it was coming down to the 200 SMA. In between the 50 SMA, the 200 SMA right here. Same thing, guys, trying to reverse with Market Cipher B and the RSIs. We don't have a green dot just yet on the daily. That's what I would be waiting for. When I'm looking for signs, guys, on Market Cipher, I'm waiting for three things. Three different signals to kind of give me the go-ahead before I take a position, guys. I'm waiting for the RSIs to be pointing back up. I'm waiting for positive money flow. You can also see a big represented out here on the bar being green and red being negative, green being positive money flow. And then I'm waiting for maybe like a green dot or a double green dot or a low position with the anchor waves down here past the 60 line. That's what I'm waiting for Luna. Then again, as I say all of that, there's never a good position for Luna. Who knows when the frick you're going to get a good position for Luna, right? It just kind of, if you zoom out on this chart, it just kind of just keeps going up. Like, you know, this might seem all doom and gloom, but when you like literally, when you take things into consideration about, especially, you know, the time frame, guys, 2 years, right? And I'm talking about Bitcoin having in a year and a half. Let's just say 2 years, worst case scenario, before things start really turning around to where we are right now.
It's been absolutely explosive.
Yeah.
I feel like there's been very serious market consensus behind the way that stable coin is constructed. It's kind of different from any of the others, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like UST is created in Luna's consensus mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those synthetic assets are actually built like very low down in the chain. And it seems like basically it works, which is fascinating in and of itself, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a Luna fan as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's up 20, like in the past 2 years, guys. Basically, I've taken this measurement from November 2020. It's up 29,821%. It's insane. It's insane. Like, it's all about time in the market and perspective. You know, when you zoom in on the charts, like, yeah, this looks horrible. This sucks, especially if you bought up here. But if you zoom out, you know, that's why they have that saying, when in doubt, zoom out, and take a look at it. Like, you can't deny it. So that's basically all I got to say about Luna, guys. You guys know, you know, I don't know if we're actually ever going to get this, but using the 50 SMA strategy, because we don't have that much time with the 200 SMA, using the 50 SMA strategy, you can see that 59.77 average break below the 50 SMA is what it's telling us. That could bring us all the way down to about $36. I don't necessarily think that we're going to get that. As you guys can see here, I'm looking worst case scenario to start DCAing on this alert line and this upward trend line, which we have two touches right here. Whoop. This is our support line. We could come just below the 200 SMA and this alert right here, which is about $64. I think that would be an awesome buy. I think that would be an awesome position to take. And then again, I might actually just put a feeler buy right here personally on the 200 SMA. But again, not financial advice, just kind of showing you guys what I'm looking at. Now let's go to our love child, Atom. This is our love child. This is super, super messy. So let me actually just kind of bloop this off real quick. Again, this is the daily time frame, guys. Let's take a look at Market Cipher B real quick. Guys, right now we're getting super oversold. We're getting super, this is what the anchor waves are telling us right now. The anchor waves are telling us that we're super oversold for Atom. Not to say that we can't go down more, because we absolutely can, but the anchor waves are telling us right now that we're super oversold. We could definitely come down maybe to, you know, an 80 or maybe even like an 82, 85 on the anchor wave. But if you guys get that, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to start DCAing pretty freaking hard. I already have these levels, but like I can't get enough of Atom. Let me show you guys right here. The RSIs are pinched together. They are pointing down right now, and we do show negative on the money flow wave right here with Market Cipher B. So it is still working its way down right now. Now, let me show you guys the levels that I've been telling you guys forever when it comes to Atom. Now, if you guys have been patient, it's been paying off for you guys. This is a Fibonacci retracement from the top, basically all the way down to the bottom when we wick down for that COVID crash. You can see that we're kind of just sitting right now in this golden pocket. Absolutely crazy how that kind of lines up to other things that I've been telling you guys on the market. Let me clear this up for you guys. I've been telling you guys using the 200 SMA strategy and the 50 SMA strategy. The 200 SMA strategy brought us down to $20.77. The 50 brings us down to $17.50. I told you guys over and over and over that this is my first DCA zone. Look how we just kind of came straight down to that. And right now we're sitting in our golden pocket, guys. Now, because we prepare for the worst case scenario, because that's what a good investor does. They're patient and they prepare for the worst case scenario, guys. I'm telling you right now that I'm going to, this is me personally, you don't have to copy me, but you know, you do you, not financial advice. I did my first buy here. I'm going to do my second buy here. Always reinforcing my position with more positions. So if I buy 500 Atom there, I'm going to buy 1,000 on my next position. And on my third buy here, if I'm lucky enough and it gives me this opportunity, I'm going to buy more. Again, probably like 2,000 more Atom, right around $10. And then if it goes all the way down to my last banger buy, guys, I'll buy 4,000 Atom right here. I'm not even joking about that amount either. I will buy 4,000 Atom right down there, because that brings my DCA position all the way down to here, guys, by enforcing my positions with more positions and being patient and holding off on capital and just being a disciplined student of the game. Guys, I'm waiting for that to happen. Now, I don't necessarily think that we're going to get all the way down there, but I'm ready for it. And hopefully by watching this channel for the past couple of months, you guys are ready for it as well. You guys know you guys should be staking your Atom off centralized exchanges. If you guys were, it has been opening you guys up to many, many, many opportunities out here in this space. Just by holding Atom, guys, I'm not going to give you guys my actual 100%, you know, bottom dollar of what I've been exposed to. Is just with airdrops. Now, I treat airdrops like bonuses. They're not part of my salary. I don't count on them, but they're a nice little bonus when you get them. I'm telling you right now, just from my position, guys, I've gotten over $150,000 worth of airdrops, which, yes, I have taken profits and saved a bunch of it as well, because I like some of these projects. But guys, take and make sure that you are staking your atom off centralized exchanges. Do your part, guys. But yeah, that's what we have right now in the charts. I'm excited. Let's talk about the meat of today's video, which is transferring over, or how can we transfer over a trademark to the Cosmos community. If you guys don't know, I kind of want to give you guys backstory. So some of you guys already know this. When Nick and I started IBC Gang, first and foremost, I actually should go back a little bit more. When I first started streaming on YouTube, I covered everything. Because you guys know, obviously, I'm well diversified in the Cosmos, in the crypto space. I hold Bitcoin. I hold some of these other projects, guys. You got to. Like, I'm a big cosmonaut, but come on, you got to. So I used to make videos about everything. And then I found from a friend of mine the Cosmos ecosystem, and it just captured me. Totally captured me. Saw the space, saw the benefits, saw what they were doing, saw the devs, saw the work. Now I'm totally in it, right? So focused, switched everything, said this is where I'm going to spend a lot of my focus. This is where I'm going to spend a lot of my energy, because I believe in interoperability. For mass adoption, I think interoperability is the gate and the key for everything. And I just thought that the Cosmos ecosystem is doing it the right way compared to anybody. And I'm not bad mouthing any other project that's trying to do interoperability. I just think, again, in my humble opinion, the Cosmos ecosystem is going about it the best way possible. So that's where we changed gears. We focused, we rebranded to IBC Gang, because it, obviously it was, I'll be honest, it was a trending thing. I tried to capitalize on the trends as a business. I own businesses, medical businesses outside of this, so I with that, outside of the crypto space, I put on that hat and thought, okay, I'm going to start it because obviously let's just capitalize on the trending thing. Let's pick up a momentum. Let's promote these IBC protocols in a genuine way, in a sincere way, as best as we possibly can. And let's be for the community 100,000%. So what I did was I formulated an LLC called IBC Gang LLC. I trademarked because I went on autopilot, guys. I trademark things because that's what I do. When I'm in business, if you're selling anything or anything like that, you trademark it. Been in this space for about months now, doing everything at cost to us, guys. We're about you guys. You guys know that we're 100%. We've given away more money than we've even ever made here. We're not trying to make money on anybody. We're not shilling anything. We will never take allocations from projects, protocols. It doesn't matter how bullish we are on it. You guys know that's our commitment to you guys. We're 100%, 1000% about the community always. But we have been given feedback from community members like ourselves, and we agree that the trademark should be for the community and be managed by the community, if at all possible. So I don't want to get into the details or nothing like that, because we are of like mind. We all agree. That's how it came about with this topic. We've applied for a trademark. It's still pending, but they take a long time, guys. Some trademarks can take 2 years, but those
registrations are rough.
They can take a long time.
In fact, maybe I should throw a little context on this.
Yeah, go for it, Jacob.
All right. In open source, there's been a pattern of basically somebody will come up with a term, then it'll get trademarked, and then, there's a competing proprietary product. But what's really, really cool is you're amenable to this path, which I think has been tried, to my knowledge. Well, actually, with a trademark, I think maybe never. With source code, I believe that with Blurt, we assigned the code to the token holders, but I'm not sure. I'd have to go and read the license. I wrote a custom license for our blockchain Blurt. Mm-hmm. But I forget if we tried to assign the ownership to the token holders, or if, because so it gets dicey, right? It gets really fuzzy really quickly. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, what I love is that you're not a squatter. And that you're interested in this, and frankly, I absolutely, I believe that it can work, because there are various legal frameworks for DAOs to own stuff. And here's what I know, and I've paid the legal fees to know this. What I know is that nobody actually knows for sure, because there is no case law and precedent. And basically, to give the audience a little insight into like how at least I personally handle legal matters, I try to consult with attorneys that I think are likely to disagree and are well known. So, you know, people who basically have studied opinions. Because of that, because like basically whenever I, you know, desperately need an opinion on X, Y, or Z, for example, Takumi the whale, there's a couple of people that I can call and get the briefest opinion for free. And then, oh, well, if you'd like me to research it, it can cost more. And I know already that this one, it's going to fall into a giant gray area. No one actually knows, but if we do it, well, then, see, here's the thing. All right, we have IBC Gang, right? I like IBC Gang, and I don't know if you knew this, man, but like actually the main Discord server that we coordinate the relaying from is called IBC Gang.
Yeah, I only knew that after you told me that.
Okay. So like, I really like this idea of establishing IBC Gang as a trademark that can be enforced by one of the chains. Because what's really cool about that is that, like, at that point, should somebody violate the IBC Gang trademark, the chain's governance can actually come up and, basically begin an enforcement measure. Now, the chain would have to appoint, how shall we put this, a meat puppet to deal with that, right? And so like an individual or organization. And actually, by the way, I don't know how much the audience follows my Twitter, but I was recently saying that, I'm interested in seeing the Cosmos Hub's governance actually direct the Interchain Foundation, like instead of the other way around, because right now, and, keep in mind that like bootstrapping something is really, really hard, right? So like, if we take the long view, the hub remains an infant, as does the Interchain Foundation, right? So I'm not trying to say that like something wrong has been done there. I guess what I'm saying is as things mature, we may have an opportunity, for the hub itself to direct the foundation instead of the foundation directing the development of the hub. And so, in the Cosmos Hub case, that could even provide a mechanism to enforce this copyright if that were to happen, where basically, I guess the way that you would do this, and I have had conversations about this on and off since about 2020, about like, because I'm sure you're aware that, the governance of a Cosmos chain, it actually fairly rigorously mirrors corporate governance, except for the lack of an executive.
Right.
We all think that's really important. There are a couple of reasons that's important. One, it's, when there is no executive, you don't have individuals making promises, and that's one of the key qualifications for like, is this a security? Although, I mean, frankly, I stand strongly opposed to American securities laws, and I think they've held things back just tremendously.
Right.
But I think that's kind of another topic, right? So like, okay, there's the lack of an executive, but other than that, a Cosmos chain is similar-ish. There are other pieces that are different, of course, to a dividends-paying corporation. Now, staking rewards, I want to make super, super, super clear, are not dividends. Why are they not dividends? Well, dividends are profits, and that's not what this is. I mean, staking, the difference between, say, like staked atom and liquid atom, right, is that the liquid atom will not accrue any rewards. The way that it's been described historically is kind of like that's the tax for having your asset liquid and not using it to secure the hub. So when you're staked, you're actually contributing to the security of the chain. So I think the way we do this, I think it's pretty straightforward, man, actually. Like since you got the copyright, I suppose you would choose which chain. If I were to recommend, it would be Gaia, Osmosis, or Juno. Basically because I feel like those have really, really clear like staying power at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Juno's had a little drama, but
Yeah.
I think she'll be fine.
I agree.
And
Jacob, what I would like to do, because I agree with you, but for me, I would like to also, it's not about what I decide. I would like this to be for the community. So maybe even putting it up and orchestrating, a vote or, a proposal like, hey guys, where do you guys think this should go to? Do you think it should go to the osmosis zone or whatnot? So yeah, but I agree with you. I think.
Oh, would you like a crash course in governance?
I would always love a crash course in governance.
All right, because that proposal is really hard to do because right now we just have like, currently we have yes, no, abstain, no with veto. Okay.
I see.
Chain likely has an economic interest in
I see what you're saying.
this trademark. And frankly, like that's kind of actually why I'm asking you, because you may have a favorite among those three. And if you do, it should probably go to that one.
Right. Dang, the pressure comes right back.
Right? I know.
Okay, but yeah, go on. Though.
So like, I mean, basically, I would assume that this governance proposal would pass on any of those three chains. And also that it would just do something remarkable for the brand and really, I think, solidify IBC Gang as, oh, by the way, there's this other question, how do we want to license that trademark? My thought is like this. We license it to everybody in the community who's using it in a positive way. And then chain governance decides from there. But actually, I think that there really is a lot of very valid input from yourself on that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when I originally did this, I didn't even obviously think about it being this way. But now that the doors have opened up for this opportunity for the ecosystem, wow, pressure on. I don't want to make the wrong decision. Like ultimately, I would think, obviously putting it on, the hub or the atom, or I want to say osmosis though at the same time. I think that's one of those things I'm just going to have to go back and forth with the community and be, obviously I would be transparent and want your guys' feedback about.
So what I could do, if you'd like, if you're thinking osmosis, and osmosis does have like really super excellent governance. I would say that the osmosis community, more than any other, is trained in the usage of governance. So like from the developers to the users to the validators, everybody involved really has gotten a ton of experience with governance because osmosis has just made like community decision making really central to the way that the chain works. I have a template for Osmo proposals. I guess I could just probably something that takes like 10 minutes, honestly, and put it in your Discord. Because I could take the template and put it there. I think you probably want to like put in the name of your LLC and say that you're transferring it. I realize it hasn't been approved yet.
Yeah.
I don't think that actually matters.
I was looking at I don't think that actually does matter either. I couldn't actually find a direct answer to that, but I don't think it does either, to be honest with you. I was trying to find that. That's why.
So like, the programmer nerds, right? We have this expression, JFDI, just freaking do it, right?
Yeah. See
And
what
I
happens.
think, yeah, I mean, I believe that this works. Nothing at all illegal about it. It's just like the first, which is really, really cool if you ask me. And then like from there on in, basically, I guess I would, if it were software, the words we would use like grants perpetual license for such and such use, other than, gosh, we could do it MIT with writers if you want to.
Yep.
There's this license called the MIT license, and you can add writers to it that basically just describe the additional. Basically, the MIT license is a very good, trusted, open source license, and it allows people. It's one of the less restrictive ones, right? So like once you've released code as MIT, it can be used in all kinds of ways.
Right.
And the writers allow you to put conditions on use. And my thought is just like basically we use the writers to say that governance can revoke usage. Oh, yeah. Governance can revoke usage of the copyright at any time. And gosh, this is gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, I think honestly, and then, like you said, being a first in its kind, I really do think this is just a really big plus for the whole Cosmos ecosystem and actually crypto in general, because this really does open up the doors for the community in several different ways. But yeah, I mean, we'll figure that out. How to actually write in specifically, the fine details of how it could be applied and or revoked at the same time, because obviously we want to protect it and make sure people aren't misusing the copyright or trademark.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, so I think that what you do is just pass that entirely to governance. I mean, Osmo is probably a very good choice because Osmo governance has been pretty responsive and at the same time, like pretty conservative, right? It's even the reason for like that Osmo Prop 199. It's because I made that Prop 188. Felt there was wash trading, and people were like, "Whoa, you gotta like follow procedure," and then which is what's really excellent. When I basically created the procedure with 199, people were in. They liked that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and the reason why I'm leaning more, I gotta be honest with you guys, and again, obviously there's time to figure it out and stuff like that, and we'll be not making rash decisions or quick knee-jerk decisions right now. Definitely something that's going to take time to hash it out and make sure everything's. But I'll be honest with you guys, the reasons why I lean towards more osmosis is one, like Jacob was saying, the activity level and the participant level of the people therefore in has just been remarkable. I mean, if you're being very honest, my humble opinion, guys, is osmosis has really grown. I know I saw a lot of people in chat say, obviously Adam, whatnot, but like osmosis has really, especially in this past year, taken the whole Cosmos ecosystem and propelled it forward in many different ways. And one of the biggest ways is by the community and with governance and the activity level and the responses that they've had within government. So just on that note, I do have to agree with Jacob. I think, and I'm not saying Juno's bad or nothing like that. Obviously, we've seen a lot of participation in Juno as well, but we got to deal with stuff. But I think I am leaning more towards that way. So
I merged it today, by the way.
Did you what?
I clicked the button. I feel like I may have clicked it too early, actually, but I clicked the button to merge the Unity proposal into the code base today.
Awesome.
About 2 hours ago. So yeah.
Jacob, if you don't mind me going off topic real quick, if you don't mind me asking.
I don't mind at all.
What is your thoughts, especially, Rama was in here earlier. We were talking with Rama, and he showed a lot of interesting facts to the people on Twitter about some of these validators and the actions that they've been taking. Um, what was your reaction and opinion about some of these validators with Unity Prop and how they
Okay.
voted and
He
participated?
asked me to read or watch something about Juno validators. And I have to say, I have not had the opportunity to do so. I wasn't his main complaint that like a large number of Juno's validators were basically like claim sell, claim sell, claim sell,
Yeah.
or and is that what you'd like to ask about, or is it about their vote patterns?
Well,
Like
actually
basically,
both, to be honest with you.
okay. Oh, interesting. Did he find a correlation there?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, obviously being kind of sick and down and out, I wasn't actually able to dive into it as well. We briefly talked about it before the stream today in chat with Rama, but he was, giving us kind of like the lowdown of like what you were saying, that he was seeing a vast majority, like Cosmos. I didn't want to name one out, but Cosmos Station, not being bonded with a lot, and just basically selling off consistently in that pattern, and then for them to also what I think they voted no and then went to abstain on Unity Prop. I just kind of like, as a active validator, and as somebody that's very active in the community and vocal about things, I was just kind of wondering your thoughts about some, not just Cosmos Station, but some of your thoughts on how some of these validators have been, I don't want to say acting or
Well,
participating.
okay, without getting into specifics about anybody, because
Yeah, I
what
didn't
I'm
want to.
aware of is that every validator's situation is relatively unique.
Mhm.
But what I can do is kind of try and tell you what we try and do at Notional ourselves
Mhm.
in terms of the way that we look at validating. Um, Now, a moment ago, you mentioned that osmosis is so super, and man, boy, do I ever agree. Osmosis is so super. Why? Well, that's basically what built Notional. Like if Osmosis had never launched, if I'd have never, the way this all got kicked off is actually I stopped working at Tendermint to join another project, right? That project actually hasn't even launched yet. They wanted to like look into dexes, okay? They wanted to look deeply into dexes, and at Tendermint, one of the things that I was doing was looking at the performance of the Gravity dex.
Mhm.
Like how would having those additional features on the hub affect the performance of the hub over time, things like that. And actually, I had promoted to the group that I was working with to use the GDAX code, and somebody, and I don't recall who, said, no, yo, you need to talk to Sonny. Now, Sonny and I, up until that point, had spoken exactly once before. He had invited me to speak at a conference, I think he was calling meta.wtf,
Mhm.
which was a conference about all kinds of shit that he personally hosted. And I wasn't able to attend because my kid had just been born. But anyway, somebody told me to get a hold of him, so I did. 2 hour long phone call followed. I understood very little of it, to be perfectly frank with you. At the end of the phone call, I thought, geez, I don't actually know if osmosis is going to be right for the the use case, because the people I was working with, they really want an order book, right?
Uh-huh.
But God, I really like what he's cooking up, and that was probably February 21 or something. And honestly, excuse me, um, it was a lark. It was luck. Okay, I saw on GitHub that they were forming a validator set. Eh, what the hell, right? I
Uh-huh.
think I was even a day late. Um, I was merged into Genesis and I became an Osmosis Genesis validator with very little idea of what, Osmosis really was. All right, it worked, right? And not only did it work, but like, I began to contribute code to Osmosis. And frankly, like more than anything else, osmosis is what got me personally engaged in Cosmos. All right, on to validating.
Mhm.
So if we were just a validator business, then we would need to sell, and we likely would not have the team that we do. So Notional Labs is, we are a dozen engineers. We are 15 people. And like basically the Cosmos SDK has a very long onboarding time. Me personally, it took me probably 18 months, but to the audience, I want to say I am not a formally trained programmer. I was a history teacher. I just really enjoyed crypto and somehow ended up doing this after building a Bitcoin mine in New York. Yeah, man. So, all right, we got going, and I realized that osmosis solved this like really critical problem, which is previously, if you started a new blockchain, right, you had to have these grueling conversations with centralized exchanges. Okay. And, a light turned on in my head, and I was like, oh my God, we can sell this. We can like build chains for people. And like, then we won't need to sell our Osmo, right? And so actually that's gone spectacularly well. The first like fruit of that is the chain Dig. And I will say Dig's price is totally in the dumps, and there's a reason for it, and it sucks. And it's like, so our business partner in Dig, rightly, and with my personal approval, I want to say that, invested super heavily in the Ukrainian market just before all the.
Wow.
It was before there was any sign that a war was going to happen, and then there started to be signs, and we were like, well, we're in now, right? So like, stay the course. And so like that's where the real estate piece of that is. Since we don't know when the conflict is going to end, we've also started to look into other markets. But in addition to Dig, there's Craft Economy. We're building that with another validator.
Yeah, we talked to Reese just
Station.
recently, and he let us know a little bit about Craft.
Oh, cool. Hell yeah. So, I mean, Craft, I think it's going to be a powerhouse. It's going to be the first chain to use SDK 46. But you asked about how we approach all this shit. Okay. Governance, we try to have an opinion. We try to think and then have an opinion. If we really, really don't, we will vote abstain. And part of having an opinion is like sometimes you're wrong, right? So we're pretty free about like, if proven wrong, we'll just turn around, that's fine. Because we want to be right. That's sort of key to it, right? Is like, we're going to have the most fact-driven dialogue and discourse possible. When it comes to what we earn, which, I mean, like, what can I say? Praise Jesus, thank the Lord, etc., has really been substantial. What we do with that, we view it as an opportunity to take a long leveraged position in the chains that we validate. But I guess like for, one thing the audience should note, the engineering division of Notional is what allows us to do that, right? Because we have other lines of business. So essentially, we look at validating as something that we do to get invested in networks that we like. And when we validate a chain, like we try to be really hands-on. What I mean by really hands-on in this case is like we write code. We've on a couple of occasions, we've done major upgrades for chains that we validate. And actually, the engineering team is really starting to get super solid with the SDK. We're 38 on
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Osmo currently. Yeah. And interesting fact about our validator. If you click us, okay, and then you click our wallet address, if you scroll up, that one, yep. What you're gonna see, and this can be useful to the audience, I think. If you scroll down a little, see the delegations that we make?
Yeah.
So I just want to tell the audience, like, those are literally endorsements. Okay. So Coldly, Consensus One, Cosmos Spaces, these guys are members of the Bare Metal Alliance. They own their equipment. C29R3 makes images that are very, very useful to validators and has literally saved our ass. Yeah, you go to the second page. I'll keep walking through.
Yeah.
Nosnode also, Bare Metal, owns his own equipment, literally packs heat to protect his validator. Iclusion, that is Zaki Manion's validator, and he's probably the original Bare Metal Alliance. I kind of like grandfathered him in because when the hub was launching, it was actually his documentation that I followed.
Mm-hmm.
I was in hub test nets, but I did not validate the hub because I chose to focus on Bitcoin mining, but I should have validated the hub. Sunshine validation, another bare metal validator. So if you're ever wondering, like, oh, hey, who can I validate or who can I delegate to? Well, of course, I recommend Notional. We're awesome. We do cool stuff. But also anybody that you see us delegating to, and we should be delegating to Chandra Station. And I'll tell you guys why. They're living the dream. They're going to build their own data center.
That's what Reese was saying to us. That is amazing. That is, honestly, like when we were talking to Reese, I followed, or when I was on vacation, actually when I was catching this crap, whatever I have, that got me so sick with walking pneumonia. I remember I was in Florida at our beach house, and I was listening to the Cosmos Space on Twitter. If you guys don't follow the Cosmos Space team on Twitter, definitely do. They host spaces all the time, guys, and they talk about amazing stuff, like stuff that you guys need to be paying attention to. Anyway, going back into it, I was listening to, it was late at night for me at least, and I was listening to one of them when you guys were talking about the Bare Metal Alliance, and I was digging. I absolutely loved it. I don't know if you remember this. Excuse me, Jacob. When I first originally started digging into it, it was maybe the beginning of the end of last year or whatever it was. I actually sent you a couple of messages asking, because I knew at the time, even back then when I was following you, that you were, promoting people to take that closet approach of running your, if you want to get involved, look into what it takes. This is what it takes or whatnot. I actually even have, if you guys don't know, this is Jacob them have put together, how to actually go about doing this the right way. I remember actually sending you messages because I was actually interested myself in, at one point, investing. I loved how you said investing into the chain when you look at validating as an investment. I was looking to do the same as well as putting on IBC Gang YouTube channel and content. That's here. Awesome. But and then you guys started talking about the Bare Metal Alliance, and when I heard about it, I was going, man, I really got to get behind this. And I reached out to Reese, and I was like, I gotta get out here, promote these guys that are, because a lot of people don't understand when you're talking about some of these validators, and I'm not pointing anyone at any finger or anything like that. There's a lot of them that run it on on these cloud services, which is not good. It's not good.
No, it's not. It can be unplugged.
Yeah.
Like here, so we don't have the same. There are downsides to what we do, right? Like our physical security is not what it would be at a data center, right? We do have a steel door. It's wonderful. We like our steel door, but
that's what you got to be like. You got to pack heat like Nas.
Yeah, I live in Vietnam. But, if I was in the States, I would.
Oh, that's right. They don't allow it there, do they? They don't allow you.
Yeah, no, yeah. Civilians, no guns. Probably counts triple for Americans, though. So like, okay. There is a downside. Another downside is our internet. We cobbled together a really interesting solution for it. And now I'd say we're about at par with data center performance. But another maybe interesting fact for the audience, like, if you have a computer that matches the spec that I described in that doc there, then you can actually, like, internet-wise, it's really interesting how reliable 4G service is. And also, if you have multiple dongles, and I have 5, nobody really knows that you're there. And that's kind of ideal for a validator setup. So that's another thought on connectivity, especially for people. I've had people say to me, well, like, I live in the countryside, the internet sucks. It's an interesting fact about this whole thing is that, your internet does not need to be data center grade.
Yeah.
You need to make it as reliable as you can. And then sort of go for it. Our reliability sucked at first. But, as I started to learn more about routing specifically, I was able to improve that quite a bit. I also want to say that, like, I don't want for validation to really be like the exclusive preserve of super, super technical people. And a couple of times, I'm always encouraging, like, validators to write code, and I want to be really clear about that. But, like, here's the thing. Docs are code too. When you document a project, describe how to use it, stuff like that, that goes into GitHub, it gets versioned, and it gets counted by the thingy that we're building.
Yeah.
We are building a thingy that basically is going to allow validator teams to register their members. And that way, on a block explorer, probably we'll base ours from PingPub, because Ping's Explorer is actually really, really good from a validator perspective, completely open source and has a very nice uptime view. So, like, base it off of that and then actually show, validator teams Git activity, which right now there's not really a resource for that. And I think it's going to be really nice to have that finally.
Yeah. I do you mind if I share this doc with the?
Oh, please share it. Please share it with anybody you'd like.
Yeah.
Guys, I thought that thing is public. You can export it to PDF, stuff like that. And I should say that I keep needing to update it with, like, okay, that doc, what it really covers is the infrastructure, right?
Oh, where'd I put it?
After that doc, you also need some directions on, like, setting up the node itself.
Yeah.
And just to sort of, like, try and be real with everybody, the nodes are too hard. What I mean by that is that, I mentioned during the course of this call, and I'm not a trained programmer. That's not what I went to school for, right? I literally studied history. And I also mentioned it took me a literal year and a half or so to get a grip on the Cosmos SDK and sort of get to where I am, technically. But, like, so after that doc, you need some node setup instructions. And what I was going to say is that most of my code in Cosmos is actually aimed at ease of use. We have a pretty serious, like, onboarding problem. Okay, so let's frame this in American costs, right? So you want to hire a blockchain engineer, okay, $184,000 a year median. Yeah. You want to, or if you're, like, just looking for somebody who can write Rust, median for Rust is higher than a blockchain engineer.
For all you young kids that have not yet picked a career, maybe listen to
Yes,
what.
coding in crypto is a really, really great career. I'm sure you
Very
got a little
profitable.
taste of that from
Yeah.
Reese. Reese is so enthusiastic. I love working with him.
Yeah, we had a really good conversation.
Um,
I loved our interview with him.
Excellent. And like, so I guess what I'm trying to say though is that like, it, the skill set is highly valued, and guys like in Cosmos, we really do need uh, more engineers. A good way to learn engineering in Cosmos is definitely validating. But here's the other thing: we definitely need more guys who can do the TA, like to the level of depth that you can. And I would like guys who can do the TA to the level of depth that you can to be validating. And your point of view is going to be different. A validator gets, I mean, we basically define what we do. What I mean is that like I don't know precisely what my job is. I,
Yeah.
make it up as I go along and try to do the best that I can. Um, but like
I thought,
I'm
to
very
kind of
interested.
expand on that, I thought it was really interesting with everything that was happening in the Juno ecosystem, how quickly some people were, especially from the outside looking in, people were just delegating, which I understand. People are going to have their emotions and feelings and comments and whatnot. But I saw so many people on social media, say what validators' roles should be. I thought it was really interesting how quickly people were ready to snap judgment or make that call on, well, validators, their role is to, and I kind of said maybe a few things sometimes as well. Commenting on those kind of things as I saw them coming is, your job is to enforce the code or the vote or the governance or whatever it was. But it's more than that. It is so more than that, especially when you start digging into what validators do, especially, active validators that like Notional, like that are writing code and developing and doing other things, not just validating. I just thought, just to add on to what you're saying, how you said, like, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing, like what my role is, but I thought it was really interesting to see so many snap judgments from people who don't do the work, who don't, do the heavy lifting per se. And I'm not, putting them down or anything like that.
Yeah,
I get it.
I mean, part of that, I can explain at least part of it. Part of it is, and let's not give this a value judgment because I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But validation is a hyper competitive environment
Hmm.
by its very nature because there's a limited supply of XYZ asset,
Hmm.
right? And the more people who delegate to you, the more you earn. The exact formula, in fact, this is the right page for it. If you go down to Notional, I'll run you through the numbers.
Yeah. Where were we? Right here.
The exact formula of like a validator's earnings. So you see that 0.64%?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's called the vote power.
Hmm.
So basically, on osmosis, Notional contributes 0.64% toward the calculation of consensus. Okay, and Tendermint works on a 2/3 basis. Okay, so once it snaps over that 2/3 line,
Hmm.
the other 1/3 is actually just sort of dragged along.
Hmm.
And if the other 1/3 happens to disagree with 2/3, the 1/3 is actually dropped out.
Mm.
So you're always looking for that 2/3 because that's what creates consensus. And okay, 0. So the earnings are as follows: total emissions to validators times vote power. So we would multiply by 0.064 in
Mm.
Notional's case, okay? And then times your commission rate, so 0.0, no, sorry, 0.005? Yeah. No. So 0. No, 0.05 times 5%, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's how you calculate like your earnings as a stream, right?
Yeah.
So you actually like technically on networks other than Osmosis and Evmos, you're earning every 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Or every block, which they tend to be more like 6 than 5.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, that's a little bit of the economics. And see, we missed a block. Missing blocks is another interesting thing. I've said on a couple of occasions that it's not actually missed blocks that matter so much, but instead when you miss them. Because if 2/3 of stake weight misses blocks at the same time,
Yeah.
the next block is delayed. So, like that one there doesn't really matter because others. Oh, wait. Here. I'll show you something a little silly. Keep the page open.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm standing next to my Osmosis validator.
Uh-huh.
I have disconnected the Ethernet cable. Take about 10
Well, I'm like,
seconds.
wait. You did what?
Nope. Watch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll let it go for like 2 or 3.
Guys, he just disconnected his. Okay. Put it back in,
And
Jacob.
I've reconnected it. So what happens on the computer, okay? On the computer, what it does is it's jumping back to its position in the chain. The lights didn't turn back on. That's interesting.
Oh, guys.
Oh, yeah. There we go. I plugged it into the wrong Ethernet port the second time. Anyhow, so now we just wait. It catches up to the tip of the chain and begins to sign again. That closet validation document, that's the level of simplicity of operation that I'd like to get to for validators. Basically, I would like them to be objects.
There we go. It's back to hitting blocks now. Look at that. Wow.
Yeah. So like, in fact, this one does work that way. The Osmosis validator.
I just want to put this out there. What other validator out there purposefully misses blocks live on stream for you just to show you how it works? Guys, he just unplugged it.
Well, these are not the important blocks. Now, if it were about midnight my time, I couldn't do that. It'd be around APOC time, right? And it would be really impactful.
I see. Okay.
For those blocks, let me tell you what happened. For those blocks, Notional's signature was missing, okay, on the chain. And other validators signed that block. I imagine that either there was one other validator missing blocks or maybe 2 during those blocks, right? And so it hit 2/3 anyways. And that's actually what I meant when I said, like, missing blocks doesn't really matter. And the reason that I'm saying this, there's a really, really key reason. When you get to 99.9, you are then good enough. And what that means is that, yes, you can operate outside a data center. Yes, if your 4G connection is good enough, you can use 4G.
IBC gang guys will be working on this closet validator thing. We will be. I sent Jacob a long time ago, and it's always been my intent to try to pick it up. But like he said, the bar of entry. I mean, I'll be honest, guys. I am not a technical guy, or at least to that level. I can fumble about and get myself in trouble. But yeah, guys, I'm going to be sending.
Also, the interesting thing. Oh yeah.
Oh no, I was going to say I'm going to be sending this in my Discord, the guys, this document here for you guys to also read. I think you guys need to take a look at it.
Yeah, please do.
That's awesome. Good information. Really, really good information. But yeah, I could go on and on and on. I do want to circle back. So again, we are going to be, we will be working with Notional, Jacob and the team at Bare Metal, and you know, getting advisory or feedback about, guys, we are going to be taking the trademark and we will. You hold me to it. It's always been about the community. We will be
Dude,
giving
I
it
know
to the
you're going to do it. I
community.
can tell from the attitude.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any holding necessary. You know what I would recommend is you start to like craft up a governance proposal on Commonwealth. Like that's the way to roll.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. I didn't even know like what the first step was, so I definitely will be in communications and put down my water and
Awesome.
Talking about how to move forward with this. It's going to take some time, guys, because it still needs to even. Well, I don't even know. Like I said, I don't think it actually. I was looking it up. I don't think it actually matters if it's approved. I think I can actually do this now, but we will be ironing out the details and how to actually move forward to making sure that the IBC gang trademark is governed by the people and it's for the people and protected by the community. So I think, guys, it's a first.
It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, you guys are.
I'm excited.
In the stream, you guys are literally. It might not seem like a big deal, but this actually could end up being quite a big deal in the crypto space. This is a first of many. We've been having a lot of firsts recently in Juno in the Cosmos space, guys. This is another first that you guys are being involved in and giving feedback in. So you guys should be really, really proud to be where you guys are at. Don't worry about, the price right now and everything else that's happening, guys.
This is so true. Yep. Oh my God. I will say that concerning the recent, because Juno's gotten gutted, Osmo's gotten gutted, right? And of course that feels bad. So personally, I take a long timeline approach, and because I do know the tooling so intimately, like I can say that Cosmos, and I've compared. If you guys look at my GitHub, you can see that I've actually worked in other blockchain ecosystems, and like I'm in Cosmos because it's really good. So like, and if we look at Osmosis, the code velocity on the Osmosis software repository is incredible. That thing moves fast.
Yeah, there's guys, there's a lot of potential, and I've shared you guys can see this in my videos, my playlist or whatnot, the important ones of, why I think I put out videos of why I think people should be, again, just my humble opinion, really be interested in what's happening in the Cosmos space for the Atom token, for the Cosmos Hub. And then I've also put out videos, guys, guys, this is just my humble opinion. Yes, it's gotten gutted for Juno. Yes, Osmosis has been kind of on a downtrend or whatnot, but you guys got to remember, thirdings are happening. If you guys look at the token structure, the tokenomics, the inflation rate, everything behind who's working on it, the developments that are actually happening at the moment and will be happening or could even potentially be happening. You guys don't know, especially Osmosis, a little different, but there's a lot of potential there, guys.
Like
the immediate short term.
Osmo, Atom, more recently Evmos. Guys, Evmos, it's unbelievable. I can't believe the amount of usage that chain is getting. So like one way to, look at the health and viability of a blockchain is just like, how many transactions are there? And the reason for that is that, you have to pay a fee for a transaction. Oh my God. Evmos we've reached 2.5 million transactions.
Oh, wow.
In a very, very short time. So like, yeah, I'm very, very enthusiastic about that chain. Cipher is another one. So like, I'm
so glad you said that. This stream has been telling people for months now about Cipher chain.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome. Because like, okay, look, Cipher had legitimate problems.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the people who called them out. And, it's super, super awesome is like their engineering team was like, how do we fix them? Yeah. And Cipher has been working on addressing the issues in Cipher chain. I'd say they're nearly all worked out. And, like, I'm just so happy to see their team having turned around. Like, there were a bunch of different questions about Cipher, and delighted that it's going forward smoothly. One of the things they're going to be doing, they're going to be getting rid of the foundation nodes. They're going to decentralize infrastructure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are definitely doing a really good job. We've had some of the team members on the stream as well, trying to explain their ascension model and PTMP as well. And you know, obviously, like you were saying, especially with their initial setup with the nodes or whatnot, like it's there's a lot of potential there too. So to go back, guys, and just to kind of give you guys a real quick rundown and a recap, guys. You guys are in. I'm telling you, you guys are in the right ecosystem. I've told you guys that a million times. If you guys are in the Cosmos space, I know right now, you know, things are ebbing and flowing, but that's healthy. That and like Jacob has been saying, you guys are in an ecosystem where, you know, developers they are busy bees. I always try to tell you guys, go where the madness is, go where the work is being done.
I've never been so busy.
Yeah,
I have never worked so much, and I like. I have to say it's humbling. Like the volume of inbound requests that we get at Notional, and the fact that, like, you know, it's not even possible to help everybody who would like our help, and that's part of the reason I try and, you know, for example, make that closet validator doc and just do as much as I can to help get people on, because it is actually very, you know, it is difficult to get started as an engineer in Cosmos. If there happen to be any software engineers in the audience or people interested in representing blockchain communities, do feel free to drop a line. One of the things that we're doing is, like, okay, so it started as just Jacob, right? And then it was Jacob and Kang, and then it was Jacob and Kang and Ricardo. And now it's, you know, 15 people. It's grown like a rocket, right? And seems like our tech is now more scalable than our ability to, like, service blockchain communities. So we're not growing the validator set as rapidly as we used to. And so if, for example, there's anybody in the audience, or even if it's yourself, you know, like, there's a new chain launching, and you'd be interested in taking care of interacting with that community on Notional's behalf, that's something that we're, like, looking to make arrangements on. But it's also challenging, so watch out. Prepare yourself.
Bill, we're definitely interested, guys, and you guys as well. I've told you guys a lot of times. Actually, I was talking to Rama about this as well. It is, again, I will forewarn you, it is a lot of work to be, you know, whether you are a developer, whether you're an engineer, whether you're just somebody that's passionate and wants to put out content, like myself. I consider myself,
you know, a content producer, active trader. All these things they get wickedly specialized and fast.
But be prepared. It's a lot of work. You got to put in the time to kind of research, to understand things, you know, and put it out there. But it is very, very beneficial, especially when you know you're working for the community and towards something that you actually believe into. Like, so for me, like I've said it many times to my audience, and they probably already know this, but I love what I do. You know, it's been at a cost for me to do this. I don't need to this because I'm luckily in that position to be okay with a lot of things. But I want you guys to see these benefits, these opportunities, and, you know, and recognize them for what they are. They're in this ecosystem, guys. There's a lot of opportunities to be had. So, yeah, if you guys are engineers, if you guys are passionate content creators as well,
ask you one question.
Yeah,
actually. So how long have you been trading crypto assets? I mean, I saw well-developed skill, and I'm just curious.
Oh gosh, actively trading crypto assets and not just accumulating them. I wouldn't even say I'm a trader though nowadays either. When you said it earlier, I was like, yeah, I don't really trade either. About 2.5 years. I was really heavily into the stock markets, and I used to trade there as well. And then a little information about myself. I come from. I own several different investments opportunities. I've been an investor for multiple years. I was into real estate. I was an actual realtor. I have a company where I own multiple different real estate, commercial and or residential for rentals. I also have I have me own medical buildings. I actually am part owner, or actually I'm a shareholder now. I opened up fitness facilities with the most recent Brandon Curry, who just lost his Mr. Olympia status not too long ago. But yeah, carbon culture here helped open that up. So I have multiple different. I've been an investor for years, and so that's where a lot of my background comes from.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but love, absolutely love. Like I said, a little story, was into a lot of other stuff. Was making content, obviously about like I was making content about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, like all of it. And then a good friend of mine, I gotta give him a shout out, DPR. He really nudged me and said, "Tank, you gotta look over at the Cosmos ecosystem." And back then I was just buying. I was buying Atom, just purely based on speculation. I didn't even know. I wasn't even like, I knew it was I knew it was looking for interoperability. I was working towards that and whatnot. But he really was like, look, no, seriously, don't just invest in it. Look at what's happening there and get involved. And so I got to give him all props to him. He's the one that really got me over there. Yeah, and it's been absolutely a blessing being in this space. So that's why I do what I do. It's really been rewarding to me, both financially and mentally as well. Like it's intellectually been growing me. I've grown. I feel like I've grown so much just being in this space.
And to the audience, I'll just say like that's what Cosmos is actually like, guys. You'll see. Like, yesterday I was practically like mediating a fight between Jay and Jack. And look, the fact of the matter is Cosmos community is incredibly strong. And like the fact that founding members of the ecosystem, can fight like that, right? Like people who made, substantial contributions at the beginning, and Jay does want me. Jay prefers that only himself and Bucky be called founders, so we'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay. But Jack's a heavyweight as hell contributor as well, right? And Jay and Bucky also argue, and I view this as such a positive sign because we actually can, and To those who are concerned maybe about, market effects and stuff like that, I'll just say that actually, no. In the end, I think that the market effect of actually just speaking, Jay sent me a DM yesterday for the first time in, I don't know, 6 months. They're like, dude, I feel like a huge weight is off my chest. And I'm like, I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah. To add on that, guys, you guys got to understand, the market's dipping, no matter what. You don't think just because it's like watching your parents argue. And some people might say, and I get it. Trust me, I don't come from a great background either, guys. But the way it's all about perspective. When I saw that happening, yeah, you could say oh, it's not healthy and all this other stuff, guys. It's because they're passionate. We're fortunate enough to have that actually happening live in front of our faces on social media, to have that level of passion and care for the ecosystem and to be transparent in front of your face. Guys, it's actually a good positive thing in the long, because they care about what they're talking about. There's so many other ecosystems where you don't hear about it at all. You don't get to hear your parents arguing at all. It's basically done, and that's what it is, and you got to deal with it. But I actually look at it as the market's dipping anyway. It has nothing to do with what they're saying. What I'm seeing when they not only say they're arguing, just disagreeing, but when I see that they're saying what they're saying, it's more of coming from a passionate stance than anything, because they genuinely care.
I can say for certain, I know them both. I was Jay's direct report at Tendermint for some time, and they both, Jay and Jack, very, very much care about Cosmos. Mm-hmm. Bucky too, Zaki too. And you mentioned something about personal growth. That is a very interesting part of Cosmos. I think we have a great community. Just look, I've been around the blockchain space, and Bitcoin, I would say, also has a great community. I learned a lot doing that professionally. Cosmos might actually even beat it, because in Cosmos, since everybody with sufficient motivation can have their own chain, you get to explore a lot of ideas. every chain, and Notional is validating 25 of them now, has their own take on how things should work.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually kind of why I was asking, if anybody is feeling very passionate about a certain chain, because Jacob doesn't scale, right? Jacob has learned this. It's like, oh man, I'm the thing that can't grow further. So you're kind of looking for those passionate individuals that want to, work sort of like basic. The way that I see the role of a validator on a per chain basis is like, it's our job to at once run infrastructure, interact with the community, shell a bit, code, and like understand the message and then carry it out. That's sort of,
Yeah.
I know that's very, very broad, but that is how I see the role.
No, yeah. I agree. Well, to be honest, not to drag this on for forever and ever, Jacob, I've really, really enjoyed this. I would love to actually,
I've got to run as well.
I know it's got to be kind of late for you.
Anything else you wanted to cover before we go?
No, yeah, actually, I just want to invite, because I was talking to Reese about it. I would love to have the Bare Metal Alliance on here more, get more people, actively seeing what you guys are doing, developing, and get you guys, I know you guys already have the Twitter Spaces with Cosmos Space. Well, I would love to have those guys on here as well.
We'd love to.
Yeah, I would love to.
I'll post a message up in our little group. I'll just add you there. And yeah, cool.
Great. I really, really appreciate your time. I look forward to our conversations later.
I really appreciate your time as well. And I apologize. I do believe I said that it was not the crying liberal type of cultural appropriation, and I should not have said that. So thanks so much, man.
No, yeah, it's totally fine. Well, we'll talk about everything, especially the trademark thing in just a little bit. But guys, that's what we got for today, guys. We're going to get out of here. Be on the lookout for our stream tomorrow. I appreciate you guys 100%. Don't forget to go follow Notional. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys have a great day.